Greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome to episode 144 of the Hoots Podcast, live on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, anywhere you get your podcast from, you'll find the Hoots Podcast there. My name is Josh Lopez, but you can call me Joshie if you want. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at the Hoots Podcast. I am alongside the one and only Adam Daley. You can follow him on the IG tip at Adam Daley 13. What's going on, good brother?
Josh, what's up? Just listening to my daughter and my dog wrestle around in the other room. Enjoying a Thursday. It's warm. It was like we went from like 5 inches of snow to nothing.
That's
24 hours, baby.
Yeah, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in my city, which we'll get to in a couple of minutes. But I just wanted to
nuts right now, man.
Yeah, exactly. I just wanted to get some stuff out of the way, business wise. Like I said, make sure to check out our podcast every single week on those streaming platforms. Do us a favor. Any general thoughts you have on the podcast, positive or negative, please leave an honest review of the podcast. It really helps us expand the reach of the show. And I want to get a gauge of what you guys are interested in, what we've been doing on the show each week. I call it the Hoots Podcast is because two brothers here. If this is your first time listening, myself and Adam have been good friends / brothers for 4.5 years now. And we've been doing podcasts together for that much time as well. And we come on here, have some fun, talk about wrestling. We sprinkle in some life and comedy topics. But at the end of the day, I didn't want to make this solely a wrestling podcast. We do dominate the show a lot of times with wrestling, just depending if there's like a pay-per-view every other week that we have to cover. But we do try to mix things up. So I wanted to know what you guys feel about the show, honestly, and we'll take it from there. So also, I want you – go ahead, brother.
I was going to say, speaking of taking it from there, I didn't get a chance to do this last week, and it's actually, I think, been a couple weeks, and I just keep forgetting. And I know you're a big fan, but I have to ask, man, talking about how, we like to talk about some other things and mix in, some other things with wrestling.
Right.
I know you're excited for that live-action Aladdin movie, but what's up with the Blue Man Group? Like, it's like Luke Gallows joined the Blue Man Group, man. Like, what is Will Smith doing? He's frightening.
I had a feeling you're going to bring that up.
I saw that. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then next thing you know, it's like, oh, live action Aladdin.
Yeah. I'll admit, I have a partial bias towards these type of movies because this is what I saw as a kid growing up. Kind of like, me and you've had our back and forth about Jar Jar Binks and the Star Wars movies from the late 90s, early 2000s.
You're gonna throw shade at me. I like the dude, not the character. See, you're making this like a Jussie Smollet situation where I'm,
I don't practice in fake news, my man.
Yeah. We talk wrestling. We live in fake news.
Got me on that one. That's good.
That's why I'm here.
That's good. By the way, let's give a shout out to another man who may fit this category. The doo-doo, the D to the E to the R to the E to the K, the one who is a big mark for One American News, the one and only Brother Carter. Let's give a shout out to him along the way. But back to this Aladdin thing. Yeah, like
you didn't even go to school here. So I'm gonna go back to Canada.
Canada, eh? I don't know what it is with him, man. It's like he's becoming a golf expert. Like he sends me these links and stuff because I do like a lot of sports stuff outside of wrestling.
He looks like he'd be a golf expert.
Yeah. Well, here's a story for those who don't know. I was in New Orleans last year with Brother Carter for WrestleMania. And since WrestleMania's coming up, so I guess it's a good time to bring back a memory of my trip in New Orleans last year. This dude decided to watch the Masters while we were getting ready to walk into WrestleMania. This dude did not come into the stadium almost halfway to Finn Balor's entrance at the start of the show. This dude loves his golf, man. I'm not judging him. He can do what he wants, but I just found an issue. Why golf of all places? Why golf at all sports you want to be that diehard on? I don't know.
Listen,
I can't do it.
I put golf up there on my list of things that I want to do the day, what I want on TV, the sensitivity alert snowflakes. Golf is always, how everybody jokes they have the song that they're going to off themselves to. I think golf is on my list of things that if I was ever going to off myself, I'd make sure golf was on TV, because that would be enough to be like, yep, that's enough.
Right.
It's like watching grass grow.
Yeah, it's like me looking at a wall for 5 hours.
You know what kills me is sometimes we get on wrestling crowds for being too obnoxious or chanting too much, or we don't like what they chant, or whomever. And when I say we, I mean just whomever's listening to this, not anybody in particular or anybody on this show. Right. But golf is the creepiest sport to me that's out there. It's because everybody's just waiting. Then there's just this real small, slow little clap. It's like very dainty and quiet. Like, what's everybody afraid of? And there's like so many white people. It's just, I don't know. It seems like a Get Out situation to me. That's all.
Yeah. Either Get Out, or it's like somebody's scared that a sniper is like 5 feet away or something. Like,
bizarre.
It's bad.
It reminds me of what America would be like if, like Bazooka Circus, if anybody knows Fear and Loathing. I'll leave the joke at that, because we're, again, extra sensitive these days.
Yeah. Breathe and somebody gets offended these days. So think about this, Adam. I am getting ready to go to the Dome, right? This is my first side check out of the stadium. They had this big ass block party that I didn't know they even did that during the day of WrestleMania. Literally have a block party right in front of the Superdome, which was a nice touch. Obviously, New Orleans is the big, party area for big events. I'm going there a little.
So I've heard, maybe.
Yeah. So I decided to go to the stadium about 45 minutes before the doors open. So this full disclosure, the day of WrestleMania, the night before, I stood at the WWE hotel that's literally right behind the Superdome, and I wanted to go there to meet up with Ant and B-Rob. So those are the other two friends of us that we had down there. I wanted to see and say hello before I got to my seat. And Brother Carter's like, I can't miss this. I got money on this. I was like, well, Brother Carter, I hope it was worth it, man. So I can't miss this gossip. But hey,
who bets on golf? Listen, if you bet on golf, and I don't bet, I'm not a gambler, so it's I'm not maybe I'm not the one to talk to about this. But if it's to the point where you're betting golf, I don't know. There's hotlines for that.
Speaking of hotlines, Mean Gene was in the same dining area that Brother Carter and his brother was watching the Masters with that day. Oh God. Some good memories.
Also seems fitting.
Yes. Mm-hmm. All right. Let's see where we start. We start off with Aladdin, then I was giving a shout out to Brother Carter. I'll say this. I think Brother Carter would actually play a good role in the Aladdin movie. Now thinking about it.
Where are you going with this one?
So I've
never seen Aladdin, so I might not know.
Yeah, you wouldn't know. So as a kid, I enjoyed Disney movies. My favorite Disney movie as a kid was Lion King, and Lion King's coming out this summer. No, is it this summer or next year? I think it's
this year, maybe. I don't know.
Hopefully. But yeah, Lion King, Aladdin. Trying to see other ones that come out top. I think I saw Hunchback of the Notre Dames. I think I saw that movie before. I like Disney. I mean, it was a kid. I mean, what do you want me to do? So I watched Aladdin. I enjoyed the movie. It was a big hit with kids my age during that time period. So watching the trailer and stuff, I thought it was pretty cool. That they're taking it out of the animated version and they're bringing it to real life. They got the carpets and all the extra shit that you see in the original movie. The Will Smith part. The thing that caught me with that in the trailer was his laugh. I don't know if the marketing people are like, we got to get that Will Smith laugh just to let everybody know that he's in the movie before he came out of the lantern. So
I didn't see the trailer. I just saw a still frame, and to be honest, I used to have real vivid dreams all the time. It was a really bizarre thing, my entire life. And then ever since my car accident years back, I don't sleep enough to dream. I don't, After I saw his still frame, I had fucking nightmares for like 4 days, man. Like he looks horrifying.
By the way,
he looks like one of the Smurfs was working out a little way too much, and then ate a big lunch.
I'm curious to see what else he does in the movie. If the look is that bad throughout the rest of the movie, or is it just that particular scene? But by the way, rest in peace to Robin Williams, who played the original genie in the Aladdin movie. I enjoyed a lot of Robin Williams' work when he's around. So my thoughts are with him and his family. Fortunate situation. You know, we talked about suicides and mental health situations over the years. It sucks, man, because he was good at what he did. I don't know if anybody would say that Robin Williams was a perfect person or anything like that, or he was anything like that, but I thought he was cool for what he did, and I enjoyed his movies and his comedy work. So we'll see what happens. I'll admit I am a sucker for things I saw in my childhood. I'm really excited for this Lion King live action movie when it comes out next year. I'm curious to see how this Aladdin movie comes out, and we'll go from there. So that's it on the Disney tip. Also, I heard the other day that John Boyega finished up the filming for the final Star Wars movie that they're doing with this new series. So episode 9 is wrapped up. I don't know when that movie's coming out, maybe 2021. But yeah, episode 9 of Star Wars is wrapped up. And they're bringing back all these movies from the 90s and 80s and this and that. Some are good, some are not. Remakes, you know. I remember seeing Bad News Bears with Billy Bob Thornton, which was a remake of an older movie, and then they had Longest Yard. I think they did that with Adam Sandler too. I don't know. For me personally, I prefer some of the newer ones than I would the older ones, and maybe vice versa. But at the end of the day, that's the wrap on the movie discussion. Really quick, before we get to wrestling, I had to mention this since I am here in Chicago. There's a couple things on my mind that I need to get off my chest. First off, I'm tired of Cubs fans who work on local radio stations telling me as a Sox fan how I should feel about how the team's going after their free agents when they gave almost $200 million to a pitcher who couldn't handle being asked questions by reporters, and they wanted to get rid of Joe Madden, who won them their first World Series in 200 fucking years, like they got rid of Ozzie Guillen after the White Sox won their title in 2005. So for me as a Sox fan, it's kind of insulting when I have to hear a Cub fan telling me how I should feel about my team when they think they got everything figured out. So they won one World Series, and now they're the New York Yankees of baseball now. Like, their fan base, they know everything about baseball. You got to follow the deal blueprint, and this is not a thing for me to dig at Theo Epstein. He's a really good guy, executive at what he does. I mean, he's won a World Series with the Red Sox and the Cubs. I mean, the guy is good at what he does. But my point is, like, don't tell me how I feel as a Sox fan. You're worried about free agents that you guys hit and miss over the last couple of years, and you want to tell me how I should feel about the Sox missing out on certain players. I'm sorry, I'm not giving a baseball player $300 million when he's the 10th best player in baseball. I'm not.
I don't watch baseball. I have no idea. Yes, I can't really even contribute just because I don't. I would sound like an idiot no matter what I say. You'd be better off with me sitting here going. It would all sound the same. Yeah, I'm so far out of the loop with baseball. And this is the embarrassing part. It's more on me. I really don't even know if I recognized one name that you said.
Right.
That's bad. That's how I mean, not that I really care about baseball really at the end of the day, but
yeah, it's just annoying. So this to catch you up, Manny Machado, who used to play for the Orioles and the Dodgers, third baseman guy, hits a lot of home runs.
Machado?
Manny Machado.
Julio's son?
Julio Machado. I don't know what you're talking about.
Original player Julio Machado. See, even my dog thinks so. I don't know.
Anyways, there was this big scuttlebutt about, the Sox should go get him. They're in the middle of a rebuild. They got a lot of young talent. They're like, if you get Manny Machado, you guys are already instant playoff contenders. And it's like the last 5 years, all the local sports radio guys have told us as listeners of the shows basically that, hey, you shouldn't live and die by free agency. And then, if you don't sign a premium free agent at a certain time, you're doing your business wrong. Or if you're trading assets or draft picks for players like a Khalil Mack, you're doing it wrong. So, like, for me, I've been kind of annoyed and been toyed around as a Chicago sports radio listener because they've been talking out both sides of their mouth. 1 second, we need to every team in the city of Chicago needs to rebuild, draft picks, develop, yada yada. Let your homegrown talent be your stars, not living and dying by free agency. And then the next second is like, the Bulls are a bad organization because they want to trade certain players for Anthony Davis, who plays for the Pelicans. Or, you didn't sign Manny Machado to $320 million. But we want to argue semantics over what's right and wrong in the bidding process. So Manny Machado goes to San Diego. By the way, good luck, Manny, in San Diego with the taxes out there. I'm sure that should be a lot of fun. But
I would love to play and live in San Diego, though. Could you imagine that?
Yeah.
The cost, though, is astronomical.
Will I get to see Ron Burgundy down there or no?
Probably not. Probably not. Hopefully, you should. It should come with, like, when you first move there. That should come as a part of the new residency package, I think.
Yeah, new stimulus package.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the sports stuff I wanted to get off my chest. And then we got to get to this Jussie Smollet stuff.
I don't know if I had any sports stuff written down.
Do you?
Nope. Hell no. Unless you call Sam Roberts' beard a sport, because that should have been returned to its original owner. It looked like he had a toupee on his chin. But that's not working for him. It's like me without a beard. Like he shouldn't have a beard. I need a beard. It's two different things.
Right. Brother, let me say this really quick. I have no comment on Sam Roberts. So I'm gonna.
I like Sam. I mean, well, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I've always liked the stuff that I've seen him, and so I don't,
So Jussie Smollett plays Jamal in one of my few non-wrestling related TV shows that I watched throughout the week. Empire on Fox. I was talking about this with Adam before we came on air. Like, my time's been so bogged down with working at the tattoo shop or doing articles trying to catch up with all these wrestling companies that I don't get enough time to watch certain television shows. I'll watch Empire. Maybe I'll catch a couple of episodes of The Voice here and there, or I'll see something on Netflix like Adam Show Me Glow, and I watched the first 2 seasons of it. It was really cool. By the way, there was this nice little documentary special they had on BET last night called The New Edition Story. Anybody who liked the group New Edition from the 80s and 90s, you should check it out. It's a really good documentary. Now, I'm bringing up New Edition because Jussie's actor in the movie, Bashir Gray, who plays Yaz or Hakeem, if you will, on Empire. He was in that special last night, so it was cool to see him. Jussie has been probably the biggest name that you see on the Twitter world or your local news stations in the last couple of weeks. And it's been bringing back bad reputation to the city. Basically, he put out a false claim about him being attacked towards the end of January in the city of Chicago by 2 people. Supposedly had a noose around his neck, and they're spewing out racial claims towards him. Sooner or later, they do the investigation. Jussie Smollett has that interview with Robin Roberts on ABC. And a week later, we find out that this was all a hoax. It was a work. So every second I think the majority of every second of the local news that I've watched in the last couple weeks has been about this topic and this investigation. And are there real suspects? Is he lying? Why is he being defensive in interviews and this and that? So they bring him in. He got arrested earlier this morning, I think, and he posted bail. And it's just a really shitty situation all around, to be honest with you. It sucks for me because I am a really big Empire fan. Jussie's character that plays on Empire is not my favorite character on the show, but he's a really good singer and a good actor. It just sucks to see this go down like that. Can't say I'm surprised. I mean, I told you guys this at the beginning of the year. Nothing in 2019 will surprise me. Not even this. It is unfortunate, though, that in a way it's kind of reverse racism where he said that he got attacked, but he's adding more fuel to the fire to the racial tensions in the city and just all around the country. And it's ridiculous. I mean, there's been a lot of jokes, and I shared a meme about it on my Instagram page earlier. And, you know, some people get some comedy, some enlightenment out of this, but this is a serious issue, too, at the same time. And credit to all the detectives and all the people in the Chicago Police Department that got straight to the bottom line issue to this problem. And I don't know, as a resident in the city of Chicago, I'm kind of glad that this is over with and we got some conclusion out of it. But also as a fan of the show, I'm disappointed in the fact that this adding more fuel to the issues that already happens in Chicago, where we got our moron president spewing off about our gun violence and racial tensions, but he never does anything to fucking fix it. You know, it's really, really sad. So that's my thoughts on it.
Here's where I'm at. Listen, it's like if you're a House of Cards fan, I mean, listen, you can still be a fan of House of Cards, but I mean, I sometimes we just need to rethink Kevin Spacey. Like I haven't watched Seven since that movie came out. Or I mean, yeah, since that movie came out. I haven't seen Seven since it came out. No, ever since the whole Kevin Spacey news broke, I haven't. You know, just like over the years, once you realize R. Kelly was really pissing on chicks, and you know, and once you start hearing, you start shying away from his music, and some things you just can't separate the person and the crime, you know what I mean? And it's just like, I'm sorry, OJ to me is always going to be a murderer. And I know, whatever, you write a book about it, motherfucker, you did it. You know what I mean? Like allegedly in a book that he wrote. So I don't know. I look at it, I didn't really watch Empire. I thought it was pretty messed up when this happened. And I'll admit, like, for me, it was just like, well, another day in America. You know, that was my thought process on it. As far as the initial attack, you know, or the alleged attack on Jussie Smollet. Now, to come to find out that it was all staged, it's absolutely, you know, I'll be the first one to say it's absolute reverse racism. And I know everyone's going to freak out because it's like the middle-aged white dude that's saying that, but this is, if they didn't incorporate all the, and stop, I'm not a Trump fan, so anybody that's going to try and pin me on that, I'm not. But when you start to incorporate, you know, like Kathy Griffin learned the hard way that unfortunately sometimes even in comedy, which I think she got unfairly punished and put through the ringer for some things, you know, when she did the Caesar thing. But this, once you incorporated the whole MAGA thing into it, and which is, by the way, is kind of a ridiculous. You guys all sound like morons screaming MAGA anyway, but once you incorporate that into it, you're absolutely staging it. You're fanning racial tensions. You're basically trying to create a scenario that you're creating. And what this does, why this upsets me is we have situations like this in every city, in every town, in every state, in every county. I mean, all across the country, if not the world right now. And the problem with this was this man has the eyes of the world on him. And now, just like when there's women that come out with allegations that aren't true, you know, that 1 out of 10 automatically, because of the way public opinion is now, voids out every, you know, the other 9. And I mean, let's face it, that's the reason why, for some reason, I mean, not to whatever, you know, when it comes to sexual assault on women, men, whatever, I mean, the statistics of people actually getting convicted are so astronomically low. It's criminal that it could be that low. And it's just it. I don't know, man. It just this makes me in a certain way, because how people get off with hate crimes or with assaults or with whatever are when people make up situations like this, you know. And we live in a reality where everybody has their own truth. And, you know, this dude just never thought he was going to get caught. Hell, he was living the gimmick for a minute.
Right.
Like it wasn't like a one-time thing. He was rolling with it. He was on stage talking about it, going on TV, on different appearances. Like, he rolled with this and was getting passionate about it, was really tossing that N-word out there. Like, it was reserved for years in there, you know, like it had some bass to it. Man, it's just, the whole thing upsets me just in general, because I think it does so much harm to, you know, and it almost validates hate in a certain way too. So.
You know, no, what bothers me is, like, and I want to give credit to the main, like, Chicago police supervisor, Eddie Johnson. He was talking about this, like, not only is this a bad issue because it's going to add more skepticism when other hate crime issues come up, the fact that this had more stock to it because, a celebrity's involved it, but people should expect that the local police department would pay less attention to that issue. And he's like, in general, Chicago has a lot of issues and a lot of problems, and this is taken away to fixing that problem too. And it's just pointless. I don't know what he was trying to get out of it, you know?
Publicity, money, fame. I mean, not that he didn't already have these things, but I don't know. You know, why does anybody do something like this?
I don't have sympathy for that. I don't. I mean, you're making millions of dollars to be on a television show for over 4 years.
Right. Yeah.
Are you that incompetent to, like, save your money, that you're upset about your salary, so you got to make an ass out of yourself?
Well, I mean, sometimes something like that, yeah, you got to follow the money, and whether or not it was maybe someone paying him to, you know, to do this, or if it was his idea or whatever. I don't know. I mean, the whole thing with it's such a bizarre story.
Yeah, I just have no sympathy for people who act like jackasses but lie to your face and say, I'm not doing anything wrong. It's like people trying to tell me that the Bears should give Kareem Hunt a 5-year, $20 million deal after he got caught doing domestic violence last season. Like,
I was gonna say, like, you know what? And thankfully, it looks like he's finally gonna get signed. But because I'm glad you brought that up. I was gonna bring that up. We're still at the point where Colin Kaepernick, I mean, finally they settled and he's reinstated. But
right,
like, Kareem Hunt was already on a team before Kaepernick got back in the league. Are you kidding? Because did Hunt get signed?
Yeah, he got signed by the Cleveland Browns,
right?
Yep.
And that's where the assault allegations happened, right?
Yes.
And that's what I mean. And the NFL doesn't care about that at all. But heaven forbid one dude go to a service member and say, how do I respectfully, you know, protest and show grace to the flag, and listen to, I don't know, man. That's what I mean. We live in a bizarre world.
Yeah.
To me, Kareem Hunt should not be playing in the league this year. I'm sorry. And same with Ray Rice. I mean, it's you have to start to clean up the league. I don't understand how these guys are getting 5 opportunities over and over and over again, and we're still on this Kaepernick took one knee thing. It drives me nuts.
Let's talk about some positive stuff. Really quick, before we get to the Elimination Chamber and all the stuff going on for Raw and SmackDown this week, I have some things outside WWE that I wanted to mention really quick. Shout out to Chris Jericho for that promo that I aired on last week's podcast. At the end of it, it was really, really good. Him giving himself some self-credit for selling out the Vegas show, Double or Nothing. I thought that was really funny. Also, they came out with the news that Chris Hemsworth, Thor, is going to play Hulk Hogan in a biopic. I don't know if you saw that, brother, or not.
I did see that. I saw the headline. I didn't click into it, though. I'm just upset they're making a biopic.
Yeah, you're not alone in that. Also, this weekend, New Japan Pro Wrestling and Ring of Honor are doing some joint shows at Korakuen Hall. Honor Rising. I'll be having those articles for you guys at ProWrestlingTranscriptions.com. Coming up, they got the 17th anniversary show for Ring of Honor in Vegas in March in a couple weeks. I'm excited for that. And also they got the 47th anniversary of New Japan Pro Wrestling that they got coming up as well. So some big shows coming up along the way. Of course, we got Fastlane coming up. Nothing else really caught my eye over the weekend that I need to talk about here. So before we get to the chamber, I wanted to ask you this question, brother. In regards to Kofi Kingston, because we were hitting on this topic a lot before the pay-per-view last week. So I mentioned that, you know, the New Day are like the emphasis of what Daniel Bryan can't stand as a character that he's playing right now, right? Like, he wants consumerism to die, and New Day are the poster boys of consumerism in WWE. And like, everybody's going with the sip. They want Kofi against Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. I'm not saying that I'm for it or against it. I thought it'd be a cool idea. Obviously, these two will be fighting each other at Fastlane after what happened on SmackDown this week. But what are your thoughts about this whole Kofi buzz that he's been getting over the last couple weeks? And do you think that Kofi and Daniel Bryan is an actual thing that could be a reality at WrestleMania?
Well, I mean, it's about damn time, I think. I think Kofi's it's been a long time coming for him, you know. He's done everything that the company's asked and more. Hell, they even got to drop the Jamaican gimmick after a while.
Right.
But you know what, though, man, I really do think that back in 2009, Kofi, especially during that time when they didn't really have. They only had like two guys that they were really leaning on, and they had more people, but they were testing the waters with certain people. You know, they were starting to test the waters a little bit with Punk and with Kofi, you know, with some other people around that time. That's when Jericho was kind of in and out. Edge, you know, blew his Achilles out. There was just a lot going on at that time. And I feel like if they would have ran with him when he had that feud and he was on top of Orton's, you know, that NASCAR car and was busting it up, and if they would have went somewhere with that, but you never want to rewrite history, and you know you can do that with every situation in this, you know, every scenario in the history of man. All I know is that where I stand right now as a wrestling fan, you could feel that match. You know what I mean? Like, and I guess it, not to sound cheesy, but you know, because I stay off dirt sheets and whatever, and I kind of had a feeling that it was going to be Mustafa Ali going deep. So when Kofi was kind of his replacement, I kind of figured, okay, they're just doing a little switcheroo here. But you could just tell that when a crowd is that organically hot, it's one of those nights that win, lose, draw, whatever. That's you know, one of those nights that Kofi will never forget. And thankfully they are listening to fans. You know, like, you know, even though they never listen to the fans, and they're just, you know, they're carrying it over a little bit. So. I'm happy as hell for Kofi, man. I think he's earned it. He's deserved it. And it'll be really cool to see him finally get that singles match. And even if he loses, listen, it's still a singles match. You know, at Fastlane, even if it's before WrestleMania or whatever, and it's a one-off, at least he got that match. You know, because I don't think he's ever had a singles match for a heavyweight championship. I could be wrong, but I don't think he's ever had a singles match for a heavyweight championship.
I don't think so. I mean, unless it was like Elimination Chamber setting, I don't think he did.
Right. Yeah. So he's never had
a one-on-one time.
Yeah. He's never had a one-on-one opportunity. So 11 years, and you know, this is 11 years coming, because Kofi's been a super popular guy. It's not like he was. This isn't like putting the and listen. This is gonna everyone's gonna think I'm talking shit on the man, and I'm not. It's just a character. It's not like you're putting a Brooklyn Brawler in there. You know what I mean? This is a character that's always had some legitimacy. You know what I mean? He's always been one of the highlights of the Royal Rumble. It's overdue. You know, it's overdue. It's almost like the Christian effect, except they didn't want to blow his face out.
One more match. Christian was underrated, man. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. My daughter and I have been getting caught up on the Edge and Christian show. Good.
By the way, do you like when they do the like the spin around topic where they're like, oh, guess what WWE will not talk about? How about
I love it. I love it. We just started up season 2, so we're legit catching up. But no, I love the will WWE talk about it.
Tommy. Those guys are a trip, man. Anything that caught your eye from the Elimination Chamber?
Ah, man. You know what? I thought that Mandy Rose and Sonya had a really, really, really excellent showing. I thought that match was fantastic. Nia Jax, dude, and this is what kills me about all. And I don't want to say it's mainly men that criticize her, but we'll just still say anybody that criticizes her. You cannot tell me that this chick isn't putting her body on a line. She ain't working hard. She's not. When she ran through that chamber, dude, and looked like the Juggernaut in X-Men 3, like, I'm the Juggernaut, bitch, and just breaking through stuff. I was concerned. I'll admit, I was concerned. Now, at the same time, I was like, holy shit, this is awesome. But at the same time, a little concerned. Because, but that's what we want, right? That's what everyone always says. We want more of that, So that's why I always thought that Nia has been a draw in some aspect, because whether it's been, sure, I think, maybe she could polish up the mic work, maybe, but I think everyone could. It's everyone's been making mistakes lately on the mic. It's a more in the moment show now, it seems like. So I'm not holding that against anybody, anywhere. But yeah, man, that to me, that spot in the Elimination Chamber match, I laughed and popped so hard for that, where it was like, holy shit, that was awesome. And so kudos to Nia for taking that bump, but man, she earned that. Like, she wanted to make sure that we knew that she was earning that bump.
Right. When you have performances where even if you lose, you have a performance like Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville had last Sunday, you're already made in some ways. So that's what I took away from that match. Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville are for real, and me and you already been fan of both of them beforehand, but just to see them to start the match, to close the match, and they were the talk of the match. Before the pay-per-view started, Mark Henry comes out. By the way, shout out to Mark Henry. I really enjoyed his little documentary special they did on him on the network. He's like, who do you want to win the women's tag team titles? He goes with the Iconics. The Iconics were the go-to pick for the bubble this weekend. But everybody ended up talking about Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. So I think Mandy continues to go a little way away from the Kelly comparisons and this and that. This is just my opinion from watching her wrestle each week. Kelly can't lace Mandy Rose's boots, but that's just my opinion.
I'll never accept that comparison. I'll never ever accept that comparison, because it does look like Mandy's going to get a little bit of a push here, and
she's good at what she does.
What's that?
She's good at what she does.
Yeah, she's excellent. Yeah, absolutely.
Think about this, bro. There's two characters on wrestling right now that get lambasted every single week, and the reason why is because they annoy the fan base. Baron Corbin and Nia Jax.
Yep.
And I don't know how in professional wrestling where you have a character that annoys you is a bad thing.
Right. Well, because it's funny, when we're little kids, we knew bad guys were supposed to be bad. You know what I mean? And we just either didn't like them or just, whatever. Now, for some reason, it enthralls us to want them fired from the company. It's like the strangest, bizarre thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'll never understand that. Everybody wants everybody to be you can't have this lovable show. You have to have that emotion of, man, I want to see this person lose, or, oh God, this character annoys me. You have to have that feeling. You know what I mean?
You know who annoyed me when I was younger? William Regal.
Really?
Yeah. But I appreciate what he was doing because he was doing his job right.
Right. Oh yeah, well, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It was never a thing with me with wrestlers. If I get annoyed to a certain point where I don't want them on television, that whole X-Pac heat or whatever, the go away heat thing, I think that's overplayed.
Well, I think
on these shows, it really is.
I think a lot of it too is sometimes I get concerned because we need characters, and I started getting worried because I dig the Corbin character right now. I totally dig what he's doing. And I started getting a little bit worried about it because it's okay, if a lot of other people do too, shit, they might take it from him. You know what I mean? Because I like that people are booing him. Because We need those characters. I love that people are booing Nia Jax. We need those characters. Because as soon as you have somebody that they want to have, to be like that, like a Stone Cold, we want that anti-hero, right? So you always want that anti-hero. So when you can finally find that one heel that can just, that person, that athlete that can go out there and just get that natural heat for whatever reason,
Renee Dupree.
Yeah, you're always going to keep him around there.
Oh,
hey, did you call Renee Dupree?
Yeah, I said Renee Dupree.
I'm going to give a shout out to my boy RC Dupree for picking up his first singles championship over the weekend down here at IWC in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So RC Dupree, graduate of Team Storm up in Canada. Congrats, brother. Very, very, very proud of you.
That's very cool. Another one of characters that people didn't like, but I had enjoyment out of it was Muhammad Hassan.
Well, it's funny because I have a Hassan and Davari 2-pack in our living room, sitting up with like all of our other comic book and wrestling and whatever you name it stuff that we have on the wall.
Right.
Music.
Mm-hmm. That should be an interesting list that we should do sometime. Like, come up with a list like the 10 wrestlers that annoyed the crap out of you. Like, growing up.
The 2-packs I have up there, not 2-packs, 2-packs. Hassan Davari and Miz and Maurice dressed up as John Cena and Nikki Bella that I got up there at Money in the Bank.
Yeah, I was there with you when you got it.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. By the way, shout out to Miz and Maurice, another Miz baby on the way. So that was pretty cool.
How funny is it people were chanting, "You still got it," at him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would hope so.
We're not old men. Like, just because we're in our like mid to late 30s doesn't mean that we're all of a sudden it just goes away.
The dream is like the baseball player, like, oh, you're almost 40, you can't do anything. You can't move, you can't do this or whatever. But
wait till you're almost 40. You almost can't move anymore. Trust me.
The Usos and Shane and Miz match was pretty good. The Usos did become the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. I am gonna air a promo from the Usos from the backstage area that they cut after the Elimination Chamber. It was really, really good. It kind of touched on some of the stuff that Jimmy Uso went throughout the week. And it was a really, really good promo, so I want you guys to listen to that at the beginning of the show. All right, other takeaways from the Chamber I wanted to mention really quick. I thought it was pretty obvious that Finn Balor was going to win the IC title. We talked about that last week, so it's cool. He has a title, so people don't have to say, oh, he's being buried. What's he going to do on WrestleMania? So they give him the title to calm everybody down for a minute.
You're so annoyed by
it. They had Ruby and Ronda Rousey, right? And everybody's like, oh, why didn't Ruby get enough time? Well, think about it. Ruby Riott had like a 2-segment match in the main event of Raw this week. They had the reason why that match was short because they wanted to bring in the man because, God forbid, you can't have a wrestling show without the man on it. So
how great was her reverse Bruce Lee or reverse Kill Bill outfit? Like the colors were just I was so slick looking, man.
At first I thought she was coming off like like one of those NASCAR events or something.
Yeah, she definitely looks like she's a jogger at night, making sure that the cars know she's there. But might look pretty dope in the ring though.
Yeah. So that happened, and then we let's see anything else that I forgot from the pay-per-view. Oh, shout out to Buddy Murphy and Akira Tozawa. I know it's on the kickoff show, but these guys made that kickoff show worthwhile because I can't stand listening to Sam Roberts. Everybody else in the panel is fine. I don't have an issue with them, but Buddy Murphy.
Not to interrupt you there, brother. I rarely get to see a lot of the pre-show because I'm usually setting stuff up for AJ or just kind of getting things situated. But we kind of put it on a little bit early, and are we sure that he's just not playing the antagonist?
I don't know, and honestly, at this point, I don't care.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's just playing the antagonist. I'm pretty sure.
Probably.
I don't know. I've like I said, I've never had I've always. I don't seek out podcasts or anything.
It's not personal with Sam. It's just I'm indifferent to his style on air.
Right. Gotcha. That's fair.
It's not a personal thing with him.
No, that's a fair criticism. Yeah. No, I just think he needs to give his beard back to the neighborhood pedophile. That's all. That's all.
Yeah. Yes, he does. Hyder Rank would probably look for that beard right now.
I love Sam Roberts, but the beard got to go.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the Buddy Murphy and Carrot Cesaro match, man. These guys beat the shit out of each other. It was a really, really good match. Let's talk about the main event really quick. We had, of course, the WWE title match. It ended up being Daniel Bryan and Kofi at the end. Some really good near falls, hope spots, comebacks, this and that. One of my takeaways I had from that men's chamber match was that AJ Styles is fighting Randy Orton at WrestleMania.
You think that's a match?
Yeah. Just how many times Randy Orton's gotten away from AJ Styles doing this or that. Like on SmackDown this week, I think Orton countered one of Styles' moves while he was on a hot streak or something like that. These two are going to have a match with each other at WrestleMania.
And you know what? Here's the sad part of it is that if that is the match, let's just fantasy book for a second. If that is the match, because even just sitting here, my initial reaction was ugh. But the shame of it is it'll probably be one of the better matches of the night if that is the if that just because they're both so gifted in the ring that like it would be so entertaining to watch them too. Now I do worry about the program leading up to it, but at the same time, once you're at WrestleMania, it's more about the event than the program itself.
You have one of those matches at every WrestleMania.
Right.
Every WrestleMania, it's always a one-on-one match that you may not expect a lot from, but ends up being one of the better ones in the show. Mm-hmm. You talked about it a couple weeks ago, Seth Rollins and Randy Orton, or Randy Orton and CM Punk that you saw at WrestleMania 27.
Yep, I was there for that one as well.
I thought the one him and Kane had in Miami was really good too. So,
wow, I don't even really remember his match with Kane there, and that's no fault of like anybody's.
Well, the funny thing about that match followed up Daniel Bryan losing the world title in 18 seconds.
That's right. Yeah, we were just first getting in there from the whole post-wedding stuff, and then like still doing all that. Yeah, so that's why the first couple matches were a total blur to us.
Yeah. I agree with the sentiment that a lot of people have, and AJ talked about this with us last week. Yeah, Orton's character is boring, but that's what his character is. That's what it's always been. So I'm not surprised by it. But the match with him and AJ Styles would be pretty good. I have no idea what Samoa Joe is going to do at WrestleMania. That's up in the air right now. But
Joe and Orton would be a nice match.
It could. I could see that too. I don't know. The last couple years I've been keep pitching this whole Raw versus SmackDown thing since they brought the brand split back together, and it hasn't happened yet. So if Finn Balor is not fighting anybody at WrestleMania, you can have him fight Samoa Joe. So Finn Balor, you didn't hear me?
So Finn Balor versus Samoa Joe then.
Yeah.
Okay, I could see that.
It's just an idea. I don't know if they'll do it or not. I mean, I've been trying to pitch this damn thing for 2-3 years or so, and it hasn't happened yet. So we'll see what happens. I'd
like to see some gold around Joe's waist too.
Yeah, I'm trying to see which part of the chamber match was my favorite. I'll say this though, like I thought like the beginning part of it, like Daniel Bryan starting off and he's trying to run away from everybody. And there's only so much, as much as like you could do and throw people in the chamber, there's also limitations that you can have in the match as far as like match construction is concerned. You know what I'm talking about? Like I always find it interesting how they come up with some of the sequences to keep that match going on and on. Like I think that match was almost 40 minutes or so. So
there were a couple matches that were lengthy.
Yeah. So Daniel Bryan retains. He's still the WWE champion. Kofi versus Bryan. #KofiMania. I'm for it. I wouldn't be against it, but if it's not Kofi Kingston, we'll see who else Daniel Bryan will wrestle at WrestleMania.
I am all about Daniel Bryan and Kofi, potentially, even if it's something where Daniel Bryan takes the championship back off of Kofi, or they somehow, stretch it out to, even if Kofi doesn't end up winning the championship and they make it, a return match at WrestleMania and he still somehow doesn't get the championship.
Right.
It's still a good run for Kofi. That's a WrestleMania main event. Realistically, it's a main event slot on a show going into WrestleMania. That even if he doesn't take the championship, I would still be happy with that. Now, I would love to see Kofi win the championship still. The fact that he's getting a main event spotlight is fantastic.
I remember I was going to mention a couple minutes ago the Drew McIntyre, Lashley, and Corbin Shield power bomb that they put Strowman through 2 tables. I thought that spot was pretty good.
Yeah, that was cool. I should have seen that one coming. I didn't realize that was no DQ. Well, we probably should all seen that one coming.
They should just try to. Maybe they should just let everybody know that they are a group, so people are not surprised when they come out every time during Corbin matches.
No. Yeah, no, we're not supposed to know. That's the surprise of it. I did like a couple things that pointed out. One was I liked Daniel Bryan. I loved his promo talking about how everyone wants to be a superhero with all these movies, or everybody wants to be. And because I'm at a point where, like, listen, I love me a superhero movie, and I love my superhero movies in it, but it's at a point now where it's like, this is all we have is like, and I love comics, but it's like, I want something, but then again, like what we used to get in movie form, we're getting in on like a Netflix series now, or on HBO or Showtime as a series. So I guess it's different in certain ways, but
I heard they canceled The Punisher.
Oh, they did? I wasn't going to watch it anyway. The one that was on Netflix?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't watching that one. One dude from Walking Dead was in that. Fuck Shane. You guys know the story of Shane. Fuck Shane. That's some ill shit. Walking Dead story. But as far, there was one more thing that I did have, and I'm going to make you wait for 1 second while I bring somebody in. There was something I wanted to talk about the chamber, because somebody, and I'm going to bring in a special little co-host for the second straight week. My daughter had a really good question about the chamber when we were watching that. When I noticed that the chamber is different now than what it used to be, where there's a little bit more room up there, I don't know the answer. I really don't. So, AJ.
My question was, would it count if you pin someone on top of the chamber, like one of the chamber cells?
On one of the pods.
Yeah, one of the pods.
Pinfall or submission, would it count up there? Because it counts on the outside, right? It counts on the outside.
Yeah.
On the floor.
That's a good question.
Right?
But here's the issue, though. Most of the referees are in their mid-40s, or in Machado already in his 50s. I don't know if he's going to hop up the
what you saying about 40s, man? What you saying about 40s? I'm real close, man. What you trying to say?
The fighting words.
I'm trying to say 40 is the new 50.
All right, I got a question for you, brother. Do you think Charles Robinson's going to hop up the chamber pod to make that pinfall, though?
Lil Nate? No, absolutely not. I think
it's not a bad idea.
After the Timmy White incident,
you need younger referees to do it, though.
Yes, agreed. After the Timmy White incident, let's keep the referees safe. But while we have you here, AJ, what did you think of Elimination Chamber? Because of course the internet's going to have, all the adults love to argue about it because WWE sucks and all the adults know so, and AEW is going to be so much better, although we know that's going to be pretty good. But both things can be good. So, what did you like about the pay-per-view?
What I liked about the pay-per-view is it was the women's elimination chamber. That was my favorite part.
Okay.
And I also like the men's, like how Daniel Bryan came out to the men's elimination chamber. I thought that was fine, that little promo.
Oh, you like the promo coming down?
Yeah.
Okay.
I liked that. I also like his logo.
Yeah, the recycle bins.
The logo's great. Yeah. You're really big that he should change his music, huh?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you. I've been saying it for a month.
I want him to do it by WrestleMania.
You want him to do it by WrestleMania?
Or WrestleMania is whenever he changes his music.
Right.
Because WrestleMania is a big thing, so why not do a big thing, a big event?
Right, right. Well, Becky will be debuting, I think, new music here pretty soon, too.
Yeah, I mean, I need Becky to do that, too.
But
because Daniel Bryan's song and Becky's song are just not fitting right now.
Not fitting the character.
No, not at all.
We've actually talked about this as our dog's going crazy back here. But and while I have you here, that's your issue, is it, right? Because you like their songs, from what you told me. It just sounds like that you just don't like it with the characters that they have now.
I don't like that the characters that they have now. The previous characters was perfect, but now it doesn't even match up at all.
Gotcha. There we go.
Like if I was creating a Becky character with the man character, I wouldn't in 2K19. I wouldn't use Becky's music because it doesn't match up.
Right. Now, you know what? Just to show how much of a mark she is, though, and, you know, at age 9, we got to, I guess, raise them proper if she's going to go through the whole wrestling fandom thing. You did have something that kind of irritated you about Raw this week.
What was it? I can't
The
remember.
NXT, there was something about the NXT call-ups that kind of made you a little bit upset.
There were no women. Not one. And SmackDown didn't bring
That's a good point.
No, say it was the same people on SmackDown.
Yeah, I know.
Same four people. Now I'm glad that they did bring them 4 up, you know, and I was super pumped to see Aleister Black, but you were kind of upset about that.
Yeah, I was.
Does Lacey Evans count, even though she hasn't wrestled yet?
Would you count Lacey Evans?
No, because it's already official. Because they didn't announce her that she was going to be on this show last night. They announced her like a few weeks ago.
Gotcha.
That's fair enough.
Yeah. I'll take that. I'll take that too. So there you go. From the mouth. Probably what's gonna start being our most popular segment is from the mouth of a 9-year-old. The new daily stop, ladies and gentlemen. The only clean segment of.
But then you should also ask if I count heavy machinery, which I absolutely do not.
Nobody does.
No, yeah. I don't know.
I don't even count them as a tag team.
No.
You know, I could see heavy machinery and Polavision, Adam.
You know what? Here's something else I picked up. Their promo this week, it did really make it seem like Tucker is just his handler.
It is.
Yeah, he's just totally the handler. AJ, we thank you very much again for helping us out with this podcast. We appreciate you. Did you want to say anything else about what you saw this week?
Nope.
No,
I'm good.
You're good. All right. We appreciate you.
Oh, wait, one thing.
Oh.
Yeah,
they could bring up Velveteen Dream.
You want them to bring the Dream up, huh?
Yes.
Well, I was just told that we got to watch Dream versus Gargano from NXT last night. Heard it was a very, very, very good match. So you've been dying to watch NXT. There's a reason to watch it.
Okay.
Real quick, and you know what? Here we go. Since we're a little diverse on here, we've been watching the Edge and Christian show. AJ, what do you think about Edge and Christian's little skit show that they have?
I think it's hilarious.
You think it's hilarious?
I like the different stuff they do. I like the first episode because they faked Vince McMahon because Vince McMahon was still frozen.
With the Vince head?
Yeah, with the fake Vince head.
Right. We started up season 2 is where we
And the commercial with Ms. and Mrs. Didn't they just steal that from Edge and Christian? Did they just steal that head or something? Did that
because it looked like the same dummy head. It looked like the same mannequin head. I think they stole their masks. I'm pretty sure a lot of people. When I was in Orlando from WrestleMania 24, me and your Uncle Mike saw somebody walking around town in a suit and just a Vince McMahon mask. Although we cosplay, so, you know, for the later ones, so there's always a Vince McMahon in every cosplay group.
Yeah.
And they usually have a mask on too. So, but it was probably the same scenario. Yes. Very observant of you. Way to be astute.
Yes.
Geez, she's already, and this is just to give you guys an example. Like this is a girl that at age 9 is pausing matches and watching moves in slow mo just to see how wrestlers are taking moves and how they're helping each other sell the move and how they're landing, and like it's pretty intense. So this is there you go. Just wanted to give you a little bit of spotlight again. We thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Yes.
Bye.
Now we can go back to being TV 14.
Yes, you can.
TV.
That's great. You were still TV 14 when I was.
Nah. All right.
Yeah, we got to get those songs down. We got to figure out what songs gonna be for Daniel Bryan and Becky Lynch. I want to say this real quick.
I think it's Anita Strauss is doing Becky Lynch's new song.
Anita Strauss is very good.
Yeah, that's what I'm certain I saw an Instagram post or something that they were in the studio, and I'm pretty sure that's what it was about.
I saw her perform Nakamura out to the stage at WrestleMania last year.
Oh, it was awesome.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
Very cool. What was I gonna say? Really quick before we do get out of here, I wanted to get this out of the way.
And I have one thing after you.
From this week for television, yeah, it was cool to see the XT guys come up and this and that. I thought Raw was okay. But here's my thing. Like we talked about before, why can't we find a balance from the crowds that are like thinking they're at a funeral or a library to the a-holes who are more concentrated on beach balls and things that have nothing to do with the show? Why can't we have a balance here?
It's very city by city. Every city has its own feel to it. Like that's why I've always been a fan how they can play into. I'm a fan of the gray characters because every city you go to, typically you're going to get that mixed response. That's why I have grown to appreciate John Cena and Roman Reigns, and because a lot of times it's city based.
I know, but my whole thing is like we talked about it before in the past, like super quiet crowds, like Greenville, South Carolina, or Lafayette, Louisiana. I guess in the St. Louis, you can't be happy or make any noise until the Saints start playing football again. Like Indianapolis is another crowd that's like super quiet, man. And that was what everybody was talking about Monday night. Oh man, this Lafayette crowd has ruined these guys' debuts and this and that. I thought it was kind of insane.
I just think they were in the South, and I'm gonna keep my Southern jokes out of this, but
okay.
If an IQ level collectively in an arena isn't above 50, I never take that crowd's reactions into consideration.
Right. Yeah. I don't know if Brother Carter went to any of the shows. I'll ask him after we're done with this today. But
if he did, he was the smartest man there, which is also like saying something. No, I'm gonna skip that joke before I get in trouble.
So they announced two things for Fastlane. Bryan will fight Kofi Kingston, obviously for the WWE title. They're having a rematch with the Usos and Shane and Miz. It's going to be in Cleveland, in his hometown. They made an emphasis that Mr. Miz will be front row at the pay-per-view. So, obviously, I think, Brother Joseph, I think you know where this is going. Yeah.
I don't know who Brother Joseph is, but yeah, no, I think we know where this is going, especially with Daddy in the front row, and they're playing this pretty well. Similar, I mean, not as similar, but they're doing, and every organization does this, but we talked about this. WoW was doing something with this with Santana Garrett and Tessa Blanchard. Very similar thing where they're incorporating Santana Garrett's dad.
Mm-hmm. One last thing I wanted to mention from the shows this week. I really enjoyed the Ronda Rousey and Ruby Riott match from Raw that closed out the show. What did you think about that one?
Yeah, I liked it. We kind of got through it a little bit quick, but listen, Ruby's such a, I was kind of hoping that somehow, I didn't think they were going to put Ruby over Ronda, and it doesn't make sense to right now, obviously, right. But I was hoping that somehow she would keep getting screwed out of it so that almost she'd get forced over to wrestle Asuka for that championship, Right. Now, by the same token, I'm not I am not upset at all about, potentially it being Mandy Rose or whomever else on SmackDown. I was just thinking how they could maybe fit Ruby into the picture.
Right.
But no, I love Ruby and her and Ronda. I thought, it's still Ronda's first year, and people are nitpicking every small minor detail, and look, she's putting on great matches, so
yeah,
there isn't anything else to say. Ruby's fantastic. Ronda's great. And, that's where we're at.
I got a little announcement to make everybody. The first episode in March is going to be a really cool show for us that we're going to do. I talked about it on Instagram and Twitter, and I talked about this with Adam a couple of weeks ago. I wanted to do an episode where me and Adam get to, kind of reflect on our experiences, podcasters and doing the show together. I'm celebrating my 6th year as a broadcaster, and it'll be a cool show to do something different while we're in this gateway to the road to WrestleMania. We'll have time to reflect on some of our experiences and lessons we learned along the way. I've been wanting to do this type of episode for a while now, and the fact that we're getting close to 150 episodes, I think now is a good time to do it. So I'm very excited to do that episode. If there's any questions you want to ask about us that you don't know about us, you can always do that. Send us an email at thehootspodcast@gmail.com. Make sure to subscribe and rate our shows on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, anywhere you get your podcasts from. Tell a friend about the podcast. Make sure to check out ProWrestlingTranscriptions.com. I'm at Twitter and Instagram at the Hoots Podcast, and Adam's at Twitter at Adam. No, not Twitter, my bad. IG, Adam Daley 13. I want to thank you guys so much for checking out episode 144 of the Hoots Podcast.
Hold on 1 second there. Hold on.
Good,
hold on. Hold the phone. I've waited 5 years for something, and now we're going to have the official daily stop. This is where I get my mark out moment. It's not wrestling based, so, wrestling fans that just tune in for the wrestling, you're not going to want to hear the next probably 2 to 3 minutes of me rambling. But I've talked about Gotham on here ad nauseum. I don't have to keep pitching the show to you guys. You know. But tonight, and Josh, you know what? I'll put the camera on for 1 second just so you can see. I'm rocking the Joker for, you know, look from the Killing Joke from when right after the transformation happens, he gets dumped in the Ace Chemical vat. Tonight's episode on Gotham is called Ace Chemical. So, dude, for 5 years I've waited, and through all the transformations that they've had with Cameron Monaghan's character on here, this really, for me, this episode tonight is going to be totally a Joker Batman, but pre-Joker Batman, you know. And I will admit, I've seen what happens after this, so I know that there's one more transformation for Jeremiah, and Jeremiah or Jerome or Joker or whatever you want to call him. Right. I think we all knew that that's going to happen when an episode's called Ace Chemicals. If you're a fan of the Batman lore or anything like that, but for you non-Joker fans, this is where Joker gets dumped into the vat and truly becomes the Joker. I saw pictures from the finale when he's actually Joker, and they're going to get a lot of flack, I think, because they're trying something different. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So I can't wait for the finale. But as far as tonight goes, I'm not going to lie, man. Whenever they just tease this character,
pre-pumped, huh?
Dude, it was like 5 years ago. I swear to God, it was like December 2014. And I was just about to stop watching it, and I was like, okay, I got to stick with this show just because. And just hoping that maybe they would stick with this, you know, they would stick with Cam, to play him. And just so all these years to finally have the episode where we're going to see him go into the Ace Chemical vat. I'm pumped. I'm pumped. This is like a WrestleMania moment for me. So Gothamites rejoice. We're in for a nice little treat tonight. And I think the finale, you guys are, and I'm not saying don't go look at it, guys. I shouldn't have spoiled it for myself. I'm glad I did. But I shouldn't have spoiled it for myself. So don't look up any spoilers for, but I think I'm not spoiling anything. But when I say the Joker or Jeremiah is the one that goes in the vat of poison, because it's kind of what happens all the time. So,
right.
But definitely watch it. It's tonight. It's Thursday here in America. Check your local listings wherever you're at, DVRs, on demands. This is the episode to watch.
I'm looking forward to that. It's gonna be. I'm excited to check this out. It's gonna be pretty cool. Hopefully, this buildup is not gonna disappoint everybody. I haven't seen the teasers or or early extra scenes for it, but I'm excited for this, Rob. I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Yes, sir. Like I said, make sure to subscribe to the podcast, everybody. Hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Go check out the Honor Rising shows if you have nothing to do this weekend. And also, if you haven't seen Johnny Gargano against the Velveteen Dream for this week's NXT, please go check out that match. It was really, really good for the NXT North American Championship of the world. Yes. So
there were so many titles on Raw and SmackDown this week, by the way.
Yes,
there's just championships on championships on championships.
Yeah, it was a championship buffet.
It was cool though, man. I like that they brought him up this time, still with the NXT templates at the bottom. Like the lower third was still, NXT graphics. I like that they brought him up with the titles. That's a complaint we've always had as wrestling fans, right?
Right.
I dug it. Yeah, we really didn't get touch base with that. But yeah, that's one thing that we complain about it all the time, and finally they brought him up with the champion, with the titles on their shoulders. So or if you're Tommaso Ciampa in those hands. So
by the way, I want to give a shout out. Everybody, please go check out Paige's movie. Let's support Paige. Go check out her movie, Fight with My Family. Go support Paige. All right, folks. So for the Clown Prince, I am Notorious Josh Lopez. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll be back next week for episode 145 of the Hoots Podcast. Have a great weekend, everybody. Peace.